Today I'm visiting all my favorite local thrift stores, and I'm so blessed because in the town I'm in, there's some really good ones. If you're new here, hello, I'm Kimberly. This is Studio Kimberly, where I curate vintage fine art, collectibles, and lots of jewelry. It's a thrift day today, and I'm looking for not only things for myself. I moved into a home in Central Oregon a few months back without a stick of furniture. So I'm always looking for things for myself. And if you're interested in decorating, styling, that whole kind of thing, you might want to check out my other channel here on YouTube, Pretty Over 50, where I'm completely decorating an empty 2-story, 3-bedroom, 3-bath house with all thrifted furniture. So if decorating, styling, furnishing, that whole thing is your jam, you might enjoy that journey over on Pretty Over 50. But today I am thrifting not only for myself, but for my online shop. That's studiokimberly.com, and that's listed in the description box down below. Always interested in handcrafted, artist-made things, unique items, vintage. And with that in mind, let's go see what we can find. They have started this new thing here at Vinnie's where they're putting their more, special items in this little curio cabinet right as you walk in. And the last time I was here, I actually found a really cool belt that I transferred to my friend Suzanne, who has a vintage clothing store, and she was thrilled to get it. Today, there's some interesting silver pieces. I am just not sure that there's a lot of interest in silver right now, but these are some pretty neat antique examples of what we used to use in everyday life. Isn't that fun? I always check out the furniture when I come into Vinnie's, even though I really don't need much large furniture now because I've pretty much furnished most of the home that I'm going to furnish now. But I have such a soft spot in my cart for this furniture area because this is where I found the gorgeous leather couch that I ended up refinishing. It's stunning now, and I paid, I think $199 for this fabulous leather couch. I'll link that video where I refinished it in the description box down below, and you guys can see the transformation. It cost me $200. I think I paid $15 for them to deliver it, and it looks just stunning now. So even though I don't need furniture, I always come back here because that was such a find. I just want to see what they have. I'm not sure I'm ready for Christmas. This is a whole section of Christmas items. What do you guys think? Are you ready for Christmas? I don't know. I think the weather's gonna have to get cooler for me to really start planning on it. This is one of my favorite stores in the area just because it's so sweet here and everyone is so nice. I don't know, it kind of feels a little bit like home when I come in here. All right, I think that's a cute Christmas pillow. Actually, both of those. I like things that are a little bit more, softer on the holiday spirit. This is a pretty pillow, and then I think that's kind of sweet too. Would you pick those up? I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up because it looks like it doesn't come out, and I generally like to just get the pillowcases and sell just the cases because it doesn't make any sense to ship the pillow forms inside of it. So I generally like to find something that I can remove the pillow covering and just ship that. Something that's really fun about this store is they have a lot of vinyl, you know, long play records. Way back when we used to have those. And then CDs over here, and then movies over here. So if you're looking for, you know, old media, they've got quite a nice selection here. This is a great old oak blanket rack. And you know, in my area, we do get snow in the winter. How cozy to have all your cool little blankets on this rack. So this is old oak. They're asking $9.95 for it. I think that's very sweet. Okay, that's a cute little Thanksgiving pillow. If you are creatively inclined, you can get box canvases like this in thrift stores almost everywhere. This is $2.50 for this, and then you just gesso over it or paint over it and do whatever you want on it. You would pay a lot more for a box canvas like this new than you can pick them up. So it's a great way to recycle and get something that you can create something cool with for a great price. They have a nice selection of lamps here, and I actually picked up 2 almost brand new lampshades last time I was in that I put on some lamps I got from Facebook Marketplace in my bedroom, and they look fabulous. And I think I paid like $6 each or something. They were very, very affordable, and they were almost brand new. This little giraffe lamp is cute, little mama and baby. Isn't that sweet? They're asking $8.95, and clearly it works. It has a nice little shade on it. That's pretty sweet. Oh, I think this is cute. This is a little napkin holder for the fall season. Isn't that sweet? Asking $1.95. Looks like it was $4.99 originally at this store. Very cute. This store always has a great selection of glassware. I ended up picking up the glasses for my home here and at another thrift store. So I have a beautiful set of just smaller little juice glasses and then larger drink glasses. And I think I paid $10 total for all of them. So it was such a bargain. I think these are beautiful. Aren't those gorgeous? So pretty for the fall. Little bubble at the bottom and then that amber color at the top. So they're $1.95 each, and there's a complete set of 6. Those are gorgeous. Look at this great collection of little casserole wares. So this is Blue Harbor. But there's 4 of them with their lids. These are really cool. $4.95 each. I really like that set. I don't need them, but boy, someone come and get them. They're at Vinnie's. All right, another cute napkin holder alert. I like that. Isn't it cute? Little knife and fork and spoon cutout. It's a little metal one. So this is from Crate and Barrel. And they're asking $2.95. I think that's really cute. I'm gonna put it up here so people can see it. I am always on the lookout for these glass storage dishes when they have the lids on them, because you can get them in thrift stores for so much cheaper than you can buy them. And I like to store my food in glass. So this is 95 cents. And if it had a lid, I would absolutely pick it up, because universal law is no matter how many of these you have, you will always run out. So always try to make sure that I get extra. They have a nice craft section here. So there's scrap fabric and knitting needles over there. And then yarn is over here. And I think it's a nice way if you want to try a new hobby without sinking a lot of money into it because you're not sure you're going to like it. This is a great place to go and see what they have. So maybe you start crocheting or knitting just to see if you like it. And ladies, as we march into the holidays, check out your local thrifts for ribbon and different, wrapping things because you can pick things up really inexpensively. So here is some ribbon. They have it marked at 50 cents, which is a lot better than what you would pay in the store. This one, look at all that's still on that roll. Let's see, they have that for $2.95. So a great way to save on those wrapping accessories that you need for the holidays. Now I'm walking into Brightside. Let's see if I can do it without getting hit by a car. This is our animal rescue thrift store in the community. So I always like to stop by here because I have a heart for animals. I don't generally find much in here, but last time I came in, I found some real treasures. So let's hope that I'll have the same luck today. Okay, oh, look at these pet portraits. Oh my gosh, look at the look on their little faces. Isn't that just so sweet? I'll tell you what, dogs will love you forever and ever. Doesn't matter if your lipstick looks good or not. All right, you guys, this is funny. I think these are, I don't know if those are real. Honestly, they look plastic. Like, I don't know, I can't tell. They're $2.95 and they're in actual dirt. So maybe they're real. Look at these old Disney cartoon books. Gosh, what year is this from? Does it even say? Looks like it's from, what do you guys think? The 60s? Okay, this says 1969 Walt Disney Company. Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh, and they're asking $9.95. The Wonderful World of Disney. So funny. That's a pretty original watercolor behind the counter. It's signed, artist signed, and framed and matted. I'm not that crazy about the frame and the mat, but the piece of artwork is pretty. They're asking $25 for it. Okay, here's a rock climbing rope set. I won't be needing this. Oh my gosh. The thought of climbing up a rock face actually terrifies me. How about you? Would you guys do it? I sure wouldn't. Isn't this a pretty hat? Look at that hat band. I really like that. It's a felt hat with that gorgeous hat band, and they're asking $40. I think that's a great hat. Now we just need a handsome cowboy to put it on for us, right? Look at this very cool box. This is oak with grass trim, and it's big. So here's my hand for reference. It's big and it's heavy. And then, let's see, oops. It's got velvet, purple velvet on the inside. Isn't that great? It's super, super heavy. Wouldn't make sense to ship it, but it's a cool box. I still know nothing about purses. I know some people really find great purses. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but it's always fun to just sort of check them out. Someday soon, I'm gonna buy a bike. I love biking, and in the community I am, there's a ton of bike trails. So that's going to be in my future, hopefully sooner rather than later. Of course, maybe no rush now that the snow is going to be coming in a few months. I think this is a neat basket. Is that copper wire that they've made it out of? It's just nice because baskets, you can always use them for decor items. And the fact that this looks to be out of copper wire, I think just up levels it a little bit. Let's see. I can't see what they're asking for because the tag is sort of gone. But anyway, cool little decor piece. I don't generally pick up clear glass items, but this is pretty. Look at the flower pattern, and then look at the shape. It goes down into the bottom. So they're asking $4.95. I just think that's pretty. That would be nice for a holiday party to put little nuts or something in there. I don't know, it just up levels the serving container a little bit. Okay, I think she's hysterical. Look at that face. Oh my gosh, and she's a chubby little container jar. That is so stinking cute. So you open it up like this. Oh, and the inside's not so clean, but oh my gosh, she is so funny. She's got such an attitude. Okay, I just think this is so sweet. Look at that. Somebody hand crocheted that. It's all rainbowy. Little baby blanket. Oh, $6.99. I just think that's cute. And look at, there's another one right next to it. Somebody was busy. I think those are so sweet. This is a great throw. It's that really nice kind of caramely, brown tone, and it's in really good condition. A lot of these end up here because somebody has changed out the color palette in their living room or bedroom, and so some of these things just have barely been used. This is $6.99, and it's in pretty darn good shape. This waffle weave is pretty. And that color is really gorgeous. It's kind of that golden brown. Ooh, here's a gorgeous rug. Look at the pattern on that and the color palette. Very neutral. I don't know how much it is. It's pretty big to try to figure out where the price tag is, but ooh, it's in nice condition. Can you see it? It says welcome. And I suppose these are supposed to look like antlers. Some type of composite. I just think it's kind of funny. And they have this whole little coordinated by color end cap here. That little piece right there is interesting. It's a pretty pattern, Asian piece. You might take a look at that. I think this is a pretty candle holder. I just like the shape, the fluting down here, and then the shape up here. There's only one of them though, so unfortunately I'm gonna leave it here. They're asking $3.99. Look at this old vintage teapot. Isn't that something? Let's see if I can find out anything about it. Okay, I can't read that. It looks like it was made in the USA. Georgia? Really pretty. Great condition. They're asking $19.99. Oh, here's a pretty candle holder. It's brass and then it has this sort of glass piece in the middle. There's only one of them though, which is unfortunate. They're asking $4.99, but boy, it sure is pretty. So it's right next to the Beam trophy, the Jim Beam trophy. Oh my gosh. Remember that. Oh, here's a cute little picture. Isn't that sweet with that pattern on it? It's $3.99. This is the little kind of souvenir or tchotchke aisle or figurine aisle. Sometimes I find some neat things in here. These little shoes were here last time. Somebody has got them all in a little row. Aren't they cute? So somebody donated their entire little shoe collection there. Look at this antique lusterware dish. Isn't that pretty? So, two-sided dish, little candy dish with that gold trim. Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. And the little violets. And the name of it is Sweet Violet. They're asking $4.99. Isn't that cute? Okay, so we have a reindeer thing going here, or a horn thing. Look at this. Isn't that funny? This is not actual horns. It's some kind of composite, but you hang it on the wall and you hang things on it. I think that's actually kind of cute. Somebody who has a cabin, wouldn't they love this? So it's $6.99. Tell me, would you guys pick this up? That's a cool clock. Has a lot of height to it. Kind of a more shabby chic look. And Christmas. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have to help me get in the mood. I'm not there yet. Maybe once the air gets a little crisp, I'll sort of be there. I know there are people that are in the mood year round. I don't think I'm one of them. But before Christmas, we have Halloween. They have 2 full aisles of Halloween here. You know how when you go out thrifting and it's like, oh my gosh, you're just putting stuff in your cart, one thing after another. You can't believe the incredible finds that you're coming across. You're looking at things that you never thought you'd stumble upon. And it's just an absolute riches when you're done. This was not one of those days. It wasn't. I found almost nothing today, almost nothing. It was like the vultures had been through and everything was picked bare and I was late to the party. Almost nothing. But you know what? it's important that we take these days along with the really abundant days, because that's just the nature of kind of treasure hunting. And I love, love, love the habit of looking for things that have been pre-loved. Why? Because we've got enough stuff on the planet already. And I buy almost everything for my life now secondhand, either at thrift stores or yard sales, at estate sales. There's very, very little that I pay retail for, and I go into a retail store very, very rarely. I just think it would be good for the planet and good for our pocketbooks if we all started trading with each other or trading within the community than going out and buying new. So that being said, I did pick up 3 things today that I'm going to add to the shop, and then I'm going to show you why it's so very important to go out and just keep your eyes open because of what you can end up stumbling upon. So at the first stop today, Vinnie's. I love Vinnie's. The people in there are so nice. They are so nice. And I don't know, I just feel really good about it. I got my couch there. You guys know how much I love that couch. I found 2 embroidered, they're sort of dresser scarves, but they're more like table runners that are just really sweet. And I thought, how great for the upcoming fall holidays. And this will take you through the fall, into Thanksgiving. Isn't that sweet? I don't believe these are hand done. This looks like it was machine done, but they're really pretty and they're really in great condition. So this one has the little scalloped edge at the top and the embroider on either side. And then this one is a little different shape. So you could put one on a counter and one on a table, something like that, sort of match it up. And this is, let me make sure I've got it the right way. Here we go. This is the other one. Embroidery around the edges. What do you call that when you embroidered around the edges? And then that little pattern. So this one was $1.95, and the bigger one I paid $3.50 for. These will be up in the shop. And then the other thing I found was this really sweet little box. This was at Brightside, which is our animal rescue organization. They have a animal center where you can go look at puppies and kittens and that sort of thing, which is separate than the thrift store. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that a sweet little box? I really like it. It's just, it's just a little box, but I loved the color. I loved the little illustrations. It's kind of like someone on ponyback doing, I don't know, are they playing a game or something? Anyway, picked this up. It was 50 cents. I'll have this up in the shop. Now I want to talk with you about how important it is to just go out and look. And one of the habits that I've gotten into, particularly when I'm looking at thrifted jewelry, particularly very inexpensive thrifted jewelry. I have a background in art. I was a professional artist for over 3 decades. So that has developed in me, unbeknownst along the way, a visual acuity. I did illustration work, artwork, and I did product design. So I have developed, along the way, an ability to notice shapes and structure and form and that sort of thing. And I think that does give me a little bit of an advantage just because I had decades of doing that. So I was in a little town about an hour away, and I was looking at the jewelry counter, and there just wasn't much. But they did have some little necklace displays on the top of the counter, and we call those top of counter. And that's generally the less expensive, less valuable things that they keep top of counter. I always look, and I start by looking and feeling. And the feeling part will give you a sense of weight. And that weight is what I'm looking for, because I'm generally looking for semi-precious stones or something that has some substance to it, not just a plastic piece of jewelry. Well, I came across these 2 pieces right here. This one and this one right here. Let me hold it up for you a little bit better. These were on top of counter, which means inexpensive, generally not valuable pieces. They were $3 each. And I grabbed both of them. Why? Because there was just something about them that seemed different, that seemed unique. I felt the weight, there was some weight there. I wasn't sure if they were going to be anything because, to be honest, I did not have my good glasses on. And it was darker in there. The lighting in thrift stores is generally not very good. But I kind of thought they might be something. And at $3 each, I thought it was worth the investment of $6 total to find out if they were going to be something or not. And guess what? They really, really are. This first one right here, this is Native American turquoise 925 sterling and Heshy bead necklace. This is very old. It has an old barrel clasp on it. This is Native American created. Look at that. I paid $3 and this is worth about $100 to $125 because of the age, the turquoise, the 925 silver, the Native American heritage, and the craftsmanship. So $3 on top of counter. And what I want to encourage you to do is if you think it might be something, maybe it's worth snagging. Because if I had snagged this and it turned out that it really wasn't worth much, I'm only out $3. The next piece is a wow, wow, wow piece. Now, when I brought this home, and I think I talked about this in another video, I couldn't figure out what this piece was. I thought it was a tooth because it had this little thing right up here. I thought, well, that's kind of a weird tooth. I wonder what kind of animal it's from. I didn't really know. Well, guess what? That is not a tooth. This is a very, very old American Indian turquoise embedded antler piece of jewelry. This is very valuable because there's just not that much of these around in really good condition. So look at that. That is turquoise embedded in an antler with those Heshy beads and turquoise along the chain, barrel clasp, Native American, and the value on this is probably realistically about $250. So I paid $3 for this. So what I want to encourage you to do is click on your little visual senses. Make sure you go out and look at everything. This was top of counter, which means not valuable at all generally. And look what I ended up picking up. And there were other people in the store. It's not as though I grabbed them right when they went out. I think they'd probably been there for a while. So that's why we go out, even though we have days like today where, oh my gosh, it feels like there's really nothing there for you. It's times like those that we can rescue a really fabulous piece of heritage from this country and put it in the hands of someone that's really going to enjoy it. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this thrift adventure around my sweet little town. I hope you had a great time. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Studio Kimberly, where I curate vintage fine art, collectibles, and lots of jewelry. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.